Hey everyone, just here to talk about AI. If you recognize that last week I was on X, formerly known as Twitter, and I was posting quite a bit about AI and the ethics of it on writing. And if you asked me a month ago about AI and the ethics, I would have just assumed that the main consensus would have been so long as AI isn't writing a book, that there's really no issue on it, as long as it's not writing the book for you or giving you ideas. I would have thought that most people would agree that as long as you're using it for like an organizational tool and to keep your book organized, that there wouldn't be any kind of an issue. I got a kind of a mixed consensus. 50% of the people agreed that, yeah, as long as you use it for organizational purposes and you don't really use it to generate ideas or have it edit your book in any way or create your book, as long as you are the one, all the ideas are yours, that the book is written 100% by you, that it's absolutely fine. But I also had about another 50% of the side that figured that no matter which way you use it, AI is 100% unethical. Because even if you use it to organize your thoughts, that it can't help but give you ideas, and you're going to take those ideas. They don't trust people to kind of leave those ideas alone and just not take them, even if just because they're not theirs. They believe that even with brainstorming, that AI cannot be seen as brainstorming with like a friend or something, because it's not a friend, it's a piece of technology. They basically, the long and the short of it is, they view AI like the way a lot of people viewed computers, say 50 years ago when computers first came out. Because when computers first came out, people were all screaming that it was unethical, that it's going to take jobs, and like it people, there was a whole side of people that just did not like the idea of a computerized economy. Now, when I was talking about it with people, I definitely got some pushback. I tried very much to kind of ask the question in an unbiased manner and respond in an unbiased manner, but with social media, like everyone has experienced social media, you get those people that are just coming in looking for a fight. And I will read some of those tweets and texts to you. So here's the first tweet that I launched, and just asking people's opinion. Is it okay for writers to use AI to help brainstorm? Well, when I launched that tweet, again, 50% of people would reply to the tweet and say, yeah, of course it's okay, as long as they use it for organizational purposes. Some people stated that it's no different than brainstorming off of a friend or family member. You're basically bouncing ideas off them to get new ideas. Some people said, I really don't care what an author does with AI so long as it's not writing the book for him. Then you had other people come in, and it was actually a very learning experience for me, because there was some things that they were bringing up which were very legit concerns, like the impact that AI has over the environment. Not a lot of people know this, including myself before this video, but when using AI, the people who create the AI and run it, apparently it overheats so much that it needs an enormous amount of water in order to cool down. And that's affecting the climate. It's sending greenhouse gases up into the environment. It's absolutely terrible. Um, People were also bringing up that some AI companies are running out of Africa and paying their employees less than $2 an hour. I looked that up. That is absolute legit concern. There's reliable sources out there. There's Queen's University that did a research paper on it. There's Yale University, Harvard University, all did research papers on it. And then there was someone that stated that it steals that it steals artists and authors' works, which the I did find sources claiming that and supporting it. However, the sources were Forbes and Guardian that I found, and Guardian is left biased, which I don't mind. I mean, I understand that every single news source out there it does have some sort of biasness, but the Guardian has been caught in sending out misleading information a lot. So their credibility is very mixed. And I also found Forbes, which Forbes also has been caught with sending out misleading information, which isn't entirely true. So some of their stuff is mostly true, but I mean, they have lost a lot of credibility. So I haven't been able to find yet a source that is entirely true. If you have one, feel free to put it into the comments. We'll give it a look over and I'll go by its sources. But yeah, and the other side of the so some of those was very they had an excellent point. Like it is causing the environment a lot of impact. It's so some companies are paying African workers less than $2 an hour. So if you do use an AI, make sure you put in research and make sure you're not using one of those AIs that pays less than $2 an hour, because that would be just unethical. I don't support that at all. But some of the arguments were absolutely ludicrous, and I will share some of those texts with you as well. Here they are. Okay, so this tweet is a response from an L.E. Bendon, and his first response is, one more thing to consider, AI is free now, but because its use is its training, and people become dependent on it increases its value. Once it's yielded the maximum benefit from this, every AI model will charge a subscription fee, and I advise against making it part of your workflow. I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. He has an excellent point. Right now, it's free because it's very new, and people don't know if they should trust it or not. There's not too many reviews on it, so yeah, it's free. It's free for people to use. It's some people are putting it to use, and you making it a part of their everyday workflow. And I think this individual is very correct in the fact that once AI has proven its use, it will be behind what's called a paywall, meaning if you want to continue to use it, you will have to pay a monthly subscription. So he does have an excellent point about that. But then he kind of allows his bias to get the better of him and starts to lose his grasp on his point. So as you can see with my reply, I say this is an excellent point, supply and demand, and he goes on with saying also, I ask what you mean by organizing your thoughts. Are you just talking about writing ideas down and then arranging them into a different order? AI seems to be overkill for that when you can cut and paste paragraphs in your document easily enough. And my response to that was, it may be the way I do things, but take my outline. I kind of blast things into a memo and organize and without organizing. Then I copy and paste it into Grok and ask him to put it in order. It helps me, and my schedule is intensely busy, so free some time and time that I put towards my kids. So right there, I basically told him, yes, I use AI, but I basically take my memo pad, which has my story outline. I put it in there. I tell AI this is the order in which I want you to organize it in, and I tell it, do not give me any extra ideas or creative ideas, and I hit send, and it organizes my thoughts. It doesn't give me any extra creative ideas. It just puts the outline in basically a simplified format. So right there, all the ideas are mine. And that's my book outline. It's not my actual book. It's not my first draft. It's basically bullet form points in which I refer to when I'm writing my book. So it nothing really makes its way into my book other than the bullet formats that I have. And all I'm doing is basically telling Grok, please simplify this for me so that when I'm writing my book, I have an easier time. And this is when the individual kind of has the best, for lack of a better word, a meltdown. He doesn't get violent, he doesn't get aggressive, and or anything like that. He very much lets his bias get in the way of it and just stops making. He stops using logic. Okay, so this is my reply to him. I explain, no, it's outlined, it's all there. I know the order before AI. I just go off the jumble, and AI is just putting it in a simplified format for me. And because he didn't have any kind of a logical response to that, he basically tried to he tried to make people think that I'm not making sense by just replying, you're not making any sense, when it makes perfect sense. And it's before he commented, there's like a slew of comments of people explaining this, so he obviously knows this makes sense to people. I don't know why he'd say it doesn't make sense, other than the fact that he doesn't have an actual good response to it. So, I was hoping that that would be the end of the conversation with that guy, because this, as you can see, this got thousands of impressions. It got quite a bit of comments. I have 2 daughters, I have a wife, I have a job, I go to a trade school, I'm trying to write a book, so I'm a very busy guy, and I'm also at the same time responding to this individual. Other people are leaving comments as well, and I'm trying to reply to them. On Twitter, I try to reply every time you leave a comment on one of my posts. You took the time to comment on it, I'm going to take the time to respond. I'm going to respect the time that you took on it. So I'm trying to respond to other people's posts as well. And I'm also trying to write a book. And I was also trying to learn how to drive a tractor trailer while he's commenting. So it was kind of irking me that he was trying to fight this so hard, and when I'm trying to take an unbiased approach to it, because honestly, I really don't care if people use it or not. If you think it's unethical, I respect that. If you think it's ethical, I respect that, so long as you don't actually ask the AI to give you creative ideas, and you're not asking the AI to write the entire book for you. That's where I put my line. But he keeps responding. So I tried to explain it to him, saying maybe I'm not being clear enough for you, but with what I'm doing, AI isn't giving me ideas or creating anything for me. The end result is a book that's 100% my ideas and creativity, 100% written by me. His response is it though? Because you said to use it to turn ideas into an organized outline. So my response was, but they are my ideas. They aren't even reworded. They're just properly organized, and the actual book is completely written by me, in my style, with my words, edited by me, and the actual book is organized by me. It only organizes my outline, which before AI, I just write off of the unorganized mess that I had in my outline. So after that response, I guess he didn't like that response, so he ended up blocking me, which is fine with me, and I moved on. But the comments from people who disagreed with AI, despite me being unbiased, didn't get any better from there. So here's a response from somebody who just kind of jumped to the wrong conclusion, said, so you're using it for creative purposes. I truly don't understand why people write with AI. Why write books if you don't enjoy it? And my response was, quite obviously, I don't think you're fully reading responses. I said the author writes the book. Ideas are all from the author. But use AI for organizational purposes during brainstorming. So this was me very much trying to take a non-biased approach, but I got quite a bit of these responses from the people who didn't agree with AI, which is very hard to kind of emphasize with them because a lot of them were jumping in and just not really reading the original tweet that asks is ethical for using it for brainstorming purposes. I think they once their reading capability got to is it ethical to use, they didn't read the rest of the tweet and just basically jumped on there to scream no, it's not ethical to use. And surprise surprise, I got even more tweets like these are just the people that didn't get aggressive. So I'll start getting into some of the people that were getting a little bit more aggressive. Okay, so this tweet is basically an author and an artist basically trying to say that it is unethical, but honestly, why would you use it? His argument going into this was basically that there are other associated technology that you can definitely use instead of AI. So why would you use it? And my argument to him, because again, I'm trying to take a non biased approach, I'm not trying to take sides here, was basically stating, well, why do you use any technology? Why would you use a pen and a paper? And why would you use a computer when you have pen and paper? Why would you use spell check and grammar check if you have an editor and proofreaders? So it was just kind of a why would you use any technology? Well, the reason why is it's there. And his response to that, because there is no good response to that, because that's kind of what humans do. They use technology when it's there because it's convenient and easy and it frees up your time, was your reasoning for it seems to entirely consist of because it's there, while at the same time ignoring all the problematic issues associated with technology, which he had not brought up. Honestly, you're sounding like an idiot, and I'm done wasting my time here. And what I did, because anytime you start to get insulting, I'm basically going to block you. I have 2 children. I don't need to talk to a third. So yeah, I basically ended up blocking him. So because I have 2 children, I don't need a third. So I kept going on and replying to people, trying to get everyone's opinions and trying to understand everybody's opinions. And like I said, there was some legit concerns against it, like its effect on the economy or the environment, not the economy, its effect on the environment, as well as some AI companies that basically abuse African workers and pay them $2 an hour or less if they pay them at all. So those were valid reasons against it, and so there were reasons against it. I don't want to say there isn't, because again, I'm trying to take an unbiased approach to it, because the people that agree with it basically gave excellent reasons of why they agree. I mean, it is basically like brainstorming off of somebody, and when you're using it to organize your thoughts, I mean, it's technology, and as long as you're writing the book and all the ideas are yours, I honestly don't see a problem with it. But some of the reasons against it just kept kind of getting a little bit more ridiculous, and I'll show you some of those as well. Okay, so here you can see again, it's is it okay for writers to use an AI to help brainstorm? And this individual on Twitter replied no, no explanation at all. So I mean, whenever someone just said no, I'm like, that's kind of not a good enough response for me. So I'm going to try and pull more out of you. So I asked him, why do you feel it's wrong? And I was actually very shocked to hear this opinion, because when I tapped on his logo there and went into it, this person's an actual author, and what came up, his response was, "Writers write; they don't invite opinion to the pot before it is cooked." And obviously, my response was, "This isn't actually true. Lots of writers brainstorm with other people. Also, spell check and grammar check is an AI. Do you feel that's wrong to use? If so, why or why not? So, the biggest issue I had with this response was when I was in school going to get my degree as a genre specialist. I learned that there's a technique every good writer uses called reading with intent. That means you're reading the whole work and you're breaking it apart. You're saying what you like and what you don't like, and you're trying to use what the author did to get your attention, and you're trying to implement it in your own work. Him saying writers don't invite opinions into their into their work before it's into their pot before it's cooked, I believe was his exact words, was wrong, because they in fact do. And another reason is, well, there's beta readers, there's alpha readers. Beta reader and alpha reader is very much authors inviting people into their work before it's cooked. I've seen a lot of good books invite readers into beta and alpha readers before the book's actually finished, because they want to know if the book is making sense, if maybe their prose aren't even, if there's kind of plot lines that are missing. They also want to know, is this book any good? Or am I just wasting my time? Do you guys think it's trash? Why do you think it's trash? And it's kind of like this tweet. I'm surprised it was by an author, because it was wrong on every single possible level that it could possibly be wrong. Authors very much do try to invite opinions into their work before the pot is cooked, and I tried to explain that to him. So his response was, spell check and grammar check allow you to construct the road to an agreed standard. They don't tell you where the road goes. I told him, yes, I agree on that. You should not allow AI to tell you where the road goes, to tell your story, but what about for organizational purposes? And he had this in response. It's like the Wizard of Oz. We all want to believe in magic. Once he's seen for the imposter he is, you feel cheated. A lack of mistakes might be the mistake that your story can't escape from. It's up to you. I'm no expert. Well, Frog on a Swing, since you have no idea what reading with intent is, and you obviously never heard of it because you kind of think that people don't do it, since you have no idea what a beta reader or a alpha reader is, since you have no idea what an editor is, I agree with you, you're no expert. But it's amazing that you would think that people who use an organizational tool as the wizard from the Wizard of Oz, the imposter doing this horribly evil thing. People use tools that help them organize, and some of them you don't even realize it's AI. They're before AI actually came out with applications that admit that it's AI. They were actually using an actual AI in the tool, just calling it something else, such as spell check and grammar check. So it's kind of asinine that you even think that people that use it for organization are imposters. How is it an imposter when the work is 100% written by them? All the creativity is from them. The AI doesn't even reword anything, and it just organizes the outline for them. Like it that doesn't really compute for me, and it kind of just got worse from there when I from other people as well. Like it didn't get any better. The arguments they kind of got really desperate, in my opinion. So this is a response from somebody else in the writing community on Twitter that again has never ever ever heard of reading with intent, because their response was, using AI isn't good at all. It's actually really bad because it generates words gathered from the use of other writers who write it publicly. And again, I've never ever seen any kind of valid proof of this. But again, he goes on. We don't write publicly for others for uses, and it's stealing. I promise if I see a red motel or any of my books, and I will know it, I will sue. Well, I guess everybody who has a red motel in their book better omit it and get it out of their work immediately before F.J. Harold sues you for using his work. Because apparently, if work is in one book, it can't be in any other book at all. And everybody better tell anyone who's ever written a fantasy novel ever that they need to get their work off the shelves and completely destroy it, because they're stealing Tolkien's works, because like 98.9% of all fantasy genre has been inspired and derived in some way by Tolkien and his Lord of the Rings franchise. Everybody who writes in the fantasy genre is basically trying to make their own Lord of the Rings. And the way they did that was taking the Lord of the Rings and reading it and breaking it apart and taking his work and putting it into their work. That's what reading with intent is. It's literally reading with intent. It's not stealing. It's a very accepted practice. Yes, you do put your work out there for people to use. That is the whole point on building the craft. It's what you do. Reading with intent is not stealing. Unless you're writing down a writer's work word for word and plagiarizing it, that's different. But if you're taking the work and putting it in your own words in your work, so long as you're not stealing their idea, so long as you're not stealing their creativity, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if his point holds any valid, nobody can use orcs, nobody can use elves, nobody can use dwarves, nobody can use vampires, werewolves, or anything in those regards, because, well, they're not your work. That's what reading with intent is, guys. Make sure you know the craft before you start putting opinion on it, on what's right and what's wrong. If you don't know what you're talking about, ask somebody. Ask, why can I use an elf if using work from somebody else is wrong? Like, that should click into your brain before you make any kind of argument like this. And I'd love to say it just got better, but I tried to explain that to him and it just got worse. He doubled down on it. So here I am trying to politely explain it to him, because again, I'm trying to take a non-biased approach, and I'm hoping that I just understood him incorrectly. And I responded, so your issue is it uses words from other authors' work. Can you explain how this differs from reading with intent, which is a practice widely used among the writing community? His response, unfortunately, was, Tyler, stealing work from others is even to assist in reading is illegal, which it's not, just so you know. Reading with intent is not illegal, and it's not stealing. Unless you're plagiarizing and using it word for word. Also, AI is as good as voicemail. They are prints to things that already exist. People should stop using AI to replace humans. Yes, it would be nice to have robot assistants, but not at the cost of replace. So I asked, you believe reading with intent is stealing as well? Because I'm just like trying to confirm, because I can't believe what I'm reading from an actual author. And he never responded to that. He just stopped responding altogether. But I mean, like, it's just like the proof is in the pudding here. He's basically stating that reading with intent is illegal, which it's not. I just want to make sure everybody knows this comment here is not accurate at all. Like, as you can see here, it started getting really bad. Like, it started getting to the point where people were actually deleting their post because they started to understand that they were starting to make themselves look like absolute fools. Now, listening to people's opinions, that of people who agree with it, they had some very valid arguments. People who were against it had some very valid arguments. Some were absolutely ridiculous, as you saw. And the ridiculous ones, the way they normally do on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, when you start proving them wrong, they start to get very aggressive, thinking that the more aggressive they look, the more right they look, which is absolutely silly. If you can hear in the background, my wife is trying to put my daughter down for quiet time, and she's not really liking it. She's very strong-willed, and my wife has a hell of a battle ahead of her. But with the AI, people who were basically stating that it was wrong because of creativity purposes. One of my friends, the Phoenix Press, has a YouTube channel, and funny enough, the day that I actually made this Twitter feed, he actually made and it was scheduled ahead of time. We had no collaboration at all. He basically made a video on AI creating fan fiction, and it was absolutely horribly horribly bad, like to a hilarious extent. Like, I was in tears laughing. So as you can see here on the exact same thread of the is using AI for organizational purposes ethical, I posted here to the people, for the people to see that we're against it for creative purposes, to basically state everyone worried about AI writing people's stories, please watch this stream. And you can it's still on my stream, and once this video is posted, I'm going to go back and I'm going to retweet it for other people to see as well, because I mean, I really do encourage you to watch this video. It really shows how bad AI actually is at creating stories. It's bad, but in an absolutely hilarious manner. So everyone who's worried or threatened by AI in any sort of way at all, that people are going to use AI and come out with these bestsellers, watch this video. It will squash your worries. So once I got the writing community's very passionate opinions on AI and its ethics, which I'm glad people were so passionate that we're against it. I mean, this is their livelihood. I get it. I'm not trying to make light of the situation. I'm just trying to show people that when you allow your bias to interfere with your opinion, you can actually start making yourself look like a fool. So please don't let your bias interfere with your opinion. I'm not saying AI is good. I'm not saying AI is bad. My personal opinion is, as long as it's only for organizational purposes and you're not using it to create in any way, shape, or form, there's nothing wrong with it. You're basically having it organize your thoughts. Those are your thoughts. So I don't see the difference in an assistant organizing them or AI organizing them. But not everybody has the money to hire an assistant. And some people who were for it for very good reasons, like people with ADHD who can't really organize their thoughts. That them putting it in, having AI put it in an organized manner definitely helps them out. There's other mental disorders that can very much prevent you from organizing your thoughts. And AI is greatly assisting those people. And that's something people aren't taking into account. Until it was actually pointed out to me, I wasn't taking it into account either. Now, like I was saying, once I got the opinions from the authors, I went on a group called BookTweet, and I asked readers' opinion. So as you can see here, I made the post. If you discovered an author used an AI for organizational purposes, not for creative purposes, would it affect your decision making in buying that book? Going to make a YouTube video about this, which is the purpose of this discussion. So the reason why I put that blurb at the end is because just like the writers, I expected the readers to have some very passionate opinions. To my surprise, I actually found that around probably 80 to 90% of the readers, as long as you're not using it to write your book, they absolutely did not care at all. They said they probably wouldn't even look into it. They wouldn't even know. So it wouldn't affect them buying the book anyway. They said that that's not something they look into at buying the book. Most of them stated as long as it's a good story and it was written by the author and it was the author's creative ideas, that they really wouldn't care if it came out that the author used an AI to help organize their thoughts. There was a very select few that said yes, it 100% would affect my decision making process, and those readers, and shouldn't be a shock at all. I mean, people who are well read, dude, they are quite intelligent. Their reason was a good one. Well, it was basically the environment, the effect that AI has on the environment, what AI companies do to workers in Africa. They had legit concerns that I could not refute at all. So, in the end of scheme of things, it was very eye opening. Looking into AI and the ethics it has, I learned a lot. Some things that I already knew I reared its ugly head. People getting very aggressive about their passionate opinions. And I ended up having to block a couple of people over this tweet because of how aggressive they were getting, which I want to make sure people know. If you disagree with me, that is absolutely fine. I followed some people who actually did disagree with some of my opinions. I've also followed people who were against AI. I follow people who are for AI. It really doesn't matter to me what you think. It's just an opinion. I'm not going to say your opinion's wrong. I'm not going to say my opinion's right. And there's things that we currently do and have an opinion of right now that 100 years from now are going to be seen as immoral or backwards or any sort of the way thing. I'm not really going to care what your opinion. Well, I'm going to care what your opinion is, but I'm not going to judge you on it. So if you want to disagree with me, that's fine. Just remain respectful. But yeah, this is another video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe and watch and share the video. And comment as well. I will respond to every single comment, and I'll catch you on the next one.